Hey guys, this is Kris Jones, internet entrepreneur, best-selling author, father of 3 beautiful children, 8, 6, and 5. And I'm someone who has been in the trenches of business, of entrepreneurship for about 17 years. And recently I was sort of inspired, so much so that I sent myself an email and said, why not launch an episode, not an episode, but why not launch your own sort of live show where you take questions. So if anybody is watching this and wants to post some questions, go ahead and post them. I may not answer them right now, but I can answer them in a future episode. So what I was hoping to do is take questions on anything from SEO to personal development, professional development. The personal development side is, I've been studying personal growth for a long time. I've been to 17 Tony Robbins shows. His entry show, which is called Unleash the Power Within, on night 1 you walk on fire. I've actually done that 7 times. Over the last decade and a half, I've sent about 10 of my executives to Tony Robbins conferences to have that experience firsthand. And it's pretty awesome. And, outside of just going to the conferences, I've read a lot of books on, how to set yourself up for success in life and business, creating work-life balance, as well as, making absolutely certain that you unleash the talent that is within you. I'm a big believer that most of the time we're not giving ourselves enough credit for our full potential. And when you tap into that, when you find a way of igniting that spark within yourself, that level of confidence starts to build. And over time, you start to build muscle. And as you build muscle and as you experience a level of fulfillment and self-actualization, it's when the real you starts to come out. A lot of people who know me, may be watching right now, or have seen me speak or read some of my articles, know that I speak from a place of confidence and a place of experience that only could come out by unleashing that talent within. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and post it on personal development. Another thing is search engine optimization. I have been doing search engine optimization since the late 1990s. It started out where my brother Rick and I co-founded a gourmet food business that was based on a product my grandmother, Grandma Jones, made for us when we were kids. She actually called the product Mississippi Mud. We renamed the product Pepper Jam because a friend of mine, Jessica Jones, now Jessica Chessman, who is with igourmet.com, had promised to distribute the product for us, but she said, Kris, she's like, the name, she's like, mud is something you kind of let your kids play with, but you say, God forbid, don't eat it. So the name Pepper Jam, which later became a very successful internet marketing business, actually came from Jessica encouraging us to, rename the product. So, but anyway, so we launched the gourmet food business, and what I did is I went online and basically self-taught, self-educated myself on everything I could find online to maximize the success of my business. And search engine optimization was one of those first things that I really studied, and I really kind of embraced as an online medium to grow your business. And it started with, and I encourage you to do the same. You could Google Larry Page and Sergey Brin's doctoral dissertation. And that dissertation kind of inspired me, because at the time I was studying at Villanova in graduate school. I was studying experimental psychology, but I was writing a lot. I mean, with sort of research-based education, you have to base your research and your writing on work that's been done prior. So you have something called the works cited page. Well, if you read the dissertation, you'll find out that Larry and Sergey felt that they could create a better search engine by analyzing the amount of links that point into a website and the quality of those links. Now, again, this is old school. This is almost 20 years ago that they put this out. But that underlying sort of algorithm that Google has of analyzing links sort of inspired me early on. And, I built an internet marketing business called Pepper Jam, which was a leading SEO and digital marketing company and affiliate marketing company. And then most recently, about 3 years ago, I founded another SEO company called lseo.com, and we have some software. And we are also an award-winning. We did win a U.S. Search Award this year for our work with the Commonwealth Medical College. We also were a finalist for a Landy Award, which is put on by the folks over at Search Engine Land. But anyway, the purpose of this video is not to go in depth about my background as much to say that I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys, specific questions, or general questions on the topic of search engine optimization, or for that matter, anything that has to do with digital marketing. I've been doing it for an awful long time. And then finally, professional development, right? I imagine some folks that will watch this will be at the beginning of their, entrepreneurial journey. And, one of the cool things about going live like this is that, it's a unique sort of opportunity for me to help you go through that process. We could kind of go through the process together. I will be here to answer questions that you have. Really, nothing's off limits. I may refuse to answer something that reveals, information that I've promised not to disclose. For instance, if you want to know how much I sold Pepper Jam to eBay for, I probably won't disclose that because I could get in trouble. But honestly, in the beginning of your journey, having mentors, having coaches could make the difference between success and failure. I could tell you this much, and this might inspire you guys to ask some questions. You may say, Kris, how have you become so successful? I've invested in 17 companies. I've had 5 exits. So how have I done that? And it's been a lot of hard work, but I'll tell you what my secret is, and I'm willing to reveal that secret to you over time. The way that I think about it, most entrepreneurs and most businesses fail. In fact, a lot of statistics out there, but about 95% of entrepreneurs fail within the first 5 years. That's a horrible statistic, but it's also an opportunity. Because if you kind of reverse engineer why the 5% succeed, so how do successful entrepreneurs go about becoming successful, and you also study painstakingly, like I did over the last 15 plus years, why the 95% fail. You come up with some very, very useful tools such that you can maximize your success and mitigate your failure. A lot of it, I'll tell you, has to do with psychology. But it also has to do with just raw skills that you may not have right now, but once you identify the importance of them, for instance, cash flow management. You could only run a business as successfully as the amount of gasoline you have in your tank. Gasoline is your cash. You can't just start hiring people, and you can't start making capital investments in whatever, real estate or computers and everything else, unless you're generating that cash flow or unless you raise capital that allows you to do that. But that type of mastery that I have, I actually consider myself a student of finance, but I would consider that to be one of my strongest skills. I built up a lot of muscle, a lot of confidence around successful cash flow management, being able to project into the future, something called pro forma, the type of cash that I'll have on hand over time. In fact, Pepper Jam, my original company, was built as a very profitable company initially because I was a successful affiliate marketer. But my goal all along with that company was to produce positive cash flow and then leverage that positive cash flow to build technology. My thinking was that A marketing services business or an affiliate business, just being an affiliate, was only so valuable. But if I was able to build technology, then the company, if I were ever to sell it, which I eventually did, would be worth a lot more. The multiple that I would get on a tech business versus a marketing services business would be much higher, and in fact it was. But the way I got there was on very successful and methodical cash flow management. So when I was generating positive cash flow, I would very strategically reinvest it in building technology. Some of you that are watching may not know this, but PepperJam actually started building technology in 2006. And it wasn't only an affiliate network that we built. We also built a search analytics platform, sort of a pay-per-click management platform called Searchalytics. And we also built a shopping comparison engine, which was called Shogging, to describe what we were trying to do at that time, which was combine shopping and blogging. It was really sort of like microblogging, like Twitter, before Twitter came out. We did actually have quite a bit of success with Shogging, and the search analytics software, or the search management software, actually became very, very difficult to keep up with because the APIs at Google AdWords were changing. It was honestly the R&D budget with that one I just couldn't afford. So we decided to go all in on a piece of technology, which we called PepperJam Network. Again, I'm sharing that because you could only get to that type of sort of scenario if you self-finance, you manage your cash properly, which is what I did, or you take on venture capital or outside capital, which I did not do. So anyway, as it relates to entrepreneurship, SEO, personal professional development, I'm hoping you guys will post some questions. If you're not watching this live, I'll go ahead and post it on my KBJ Capital page. And let's give this a try. I guess my initial goal, I don't like to set puny goals. That's not how I roll. I guess my initial goal, if you guys post some questions, if you don't post questions, it means that you're not interested in asking them, I guess. But my initial goal will be to do 100 episodes. I think I could give a lot back from my experience that would help inspire some entrepreneurship in you. I also would love to deep dive a little bit on how you could become the best possible version of yourself you could become. I have a very strong belief that, the life is basically what we make it. I know that sounds really simple, but we get stuck in ruts. We're human beings. We sometimes fail to take that first step towards our destiny. We fail to take that first step toward, eliminating something in our lives that are holding us back or that aren't helping us. I know there's a lot of great books out there. I know there are a lot of great coaches out there because I leverage them myself. But I'm here, I have no interest in personal gain outside of, the gift of being able to give back. So if you guys have any questions, post them. If not, this will probably be my last video, at least for this type of thing. By the way, I also have some big announcements coming out in early January, February, March. I don't want you guys to miss those. Ultimately, they are life changers for me. I think that, 2016 professionally was a huge year for me. I accomplished, more than I thought I was going to be able to accomplish. But 2017 is setting up to be even more exciting. I'd love for you guys to be part of that. And I think you're going to want to be part of it if you care about personal professional development and entrepreneurship. So with that said, look forward to receiving your questions. Feel free to private message me if you don't want to post something publicly. I will keep the confidentiality of who asked the question. You guys have a great new year. I hope you guys had a tremendous 2016. If you didn't, every day is a baseline. One of the things I learned just over the years is that there are going to be good days and there are going to be bad days. Who you become is ultimately how you deal with both. On the bad days, you have to have resolve, and you have to realize that right around the corner, and it could be hours, it could be days, but right around the corner, the season will change and life will get better. But you've got to be ready for it, because if you're not ready for it, too much time could go by without you truly leveraging what I believe is the absolute reality of life, which is things get better. Not only do things get better, if you learn how to play momentum, if you know how to leverage momentum in your life, when something positive happens, and being able to leverage that and turn it into more good things, you will eventually get to a point where I'm at, which is I actually feel that I could spend each and every day of my life giving more and more back. And that is the ultimate success in life, to be in a position to give back. But like I said, hang in there. If you did not have a good 2016, 2017 is going to be your year. And I will be here should you so desire to help you through it. That's all I got for today. Really appreciate your time. Did seem like people did stick around here for a little bit, even though this is on my fan page and not my personal page. I do intend to share it over there. You guys take care, and I will talk to you soon. Happy New Year. God bless.